1050? Yeah, 950.
So there's 8.
I'm sorry?
Did you say 6, 8?
This right here?
No, for the homework.
No, the homework is to complete this lesson master.
Oh, okay.
Because the homework was on Friday for you to complete numbers 1 and 2.
Yeah. Oh, you said 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. So complete this. And then we're going to move on to this. We're going to start this, which I have on Tuesday as well. We're going to get started with this one right here. So you guys have any scratch paper? I've got all these pieces. You don't need much of anything in terms of size. So using a straight edge, can you just draw a triangle? Yeah. Doesn't matter what kind of triangle it is on this paper. It could be isosceles, it could be square, it could be equilateral, it could be scaling, it could be acute, it could be obtuse, it could be whatever.
How big should
Do
it
they
be?
have one this today?
Yeah,
Size of
this is
triangle.
just blank paper.
Oh, okay.
I'm just using that paper I got laying around.
How big should it be?
Triangle size.
Oh.
Yeah, triangle.
Oh,
User.
But they're both the size of triangle.
then you're gonna cut it out.
No, that's the size of triangle. That's the triangle. Therefore, it's the
How
size
big?
of
Oh, it doesn't matter. Big or small as you want, just make sure you drag a little straight edge.
It takes up more space, but it is still the size of a triangle, correct? Is that the size of a triangle?
Oh.
That's the size of a triangle. Yep, everything that is in the shape of a triangle is the size of a triangle. Yes. You said yes to me on that.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
The shape of a triangle
You're
is the
not
size
gonna
of a
like to use that triangle, okay?
The pyramid is the size of a triangle.
You gotta cut it out.
And that's the size of a triangle.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, the pyramid is the area of a triangle. That's the size of a triangle. Yeah, so this is the size of a triangle. It's also the same size as the triangle. Every triangle is the same size.
Yeah.
Because they're all the size.
Would you just like not get any?
Size of a triangle.
Okay, come on, you guys focus up here. You have it cut out? Yes. Are you gonna cut it out or are you guys gonna chat? Cut it out, let's go. Sneak low, hurry up. I'm waiting on you.
Oh!
Yes, I'm looking at
Cut
you.
it out. It's like, yeah. You meant literally cut out the triangle.
No, yeah, I didn't mean cut it out.
Yeah.
Cut it out. The triangle.
Not like talking, cut it out.
All right, then. Tear off the 3 corners. Don't cut them off. Tear them so that you can tell what is the torn edge and what is not a torn edge. Yeah, tear them off, but make them big enough that you can still handle them and see them. And then take the 3 corners.
Might tear up all 3 of them.
Yeah, tear off all 3. You're going to save those 3 corners. The center portion of the triangle you can set aside.
No, the size of the triangle.
So now take the 3 vertices on the table, lay out the 3 vertices so that they are all meeting at the same point. And then slide the sides together and tell me what you notice. Okay. The three vertices have to meet at the same point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've done a lot of things that I've asked you about, and like most of the class sits there and goes, no, we never did that. Yeah, we did this. I don't know if we did it in class or we did it during COVID school. I'm not sure what.
We did it during
In class.
Did we do it in class?
yeah.
Yeah, we did in class.
So do you have all three vertices meeting at the same point? I don't see that there. I don't see that. I don't see it. I don't see all three vertices meeting at the same point. Here I see it. There I do not. I do. I do. Yes. All three vertices have to meet at the same point. I see it there. I see it there. So we're like, let's get them all together. So you have it. You have it. He's got it now. He's got a big triangle. So you need, so one issue here is when you cut that, you didn't have a nice sharp pointy vertex.
Mine just looks like the Zelda one.
Yeah. I don't want you working on this now, that's your homework. I want you to get all your vertices together. Here you have a vertex out there, one in the middle and one out here. They all have to be at the same location.
Like that one.
All the
Mine looks
points
like
you
that.
tried to
And a circle's 360. Whoa. A circle is 360.
Right now it's
So
180.
And a
here's the
triangle
point,
is
the corner of the
180.
triangle.
So it's half of a circle, making it 180.
The other one is
Wow,
this.
my mind is blown.
Oh, I get it.
There. They all need to
Wait,
be
you're supposed to make a straight
same
line.
location. You need a dot on the paper, all those points need to be touching it. So you got it. So what's the angle?
180.
Go around and
Which is
ask
half
them
of a
what it
circle.
Which is half of a circle.
Everybody's gotta make a triangle out of it.
Yeah, well, I made the Zelda
Then
one.
you have to
I
get
did
those
too.
together, not get the big
Not
one.
the same area as this. So therefore, it's not.
Well, yeah, because that's not a triangle.
It is a triangle.
It's an angle.
No,
There's three sides. The other one is one.
it's not a triangle. That's not.
Never evaluated.
Exemplar.
This triangle has 3 sides, and all connect. Not the triangle.
Yes, and this is triangle.
Let me look.
It's nice. Okay, so, did all of yours look something like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many degrees do these vertices add up to? 180, so that's the triangle sum theorem. The triangle sum theorem, or property as they call it in this book, says that the interior angles of any triangle will add to 180 degrees. So now, you need to make a triangle on here. Make it so it's not a monstrosity. Oh, you might need to share.
Wait, what was? Why am I trying to make it? What? Yeah, make it like an abomination.
I can say, you two, I think like, no.
Yours looks like bark. Mine looks like a nice lemon.
Mine looks like a three-leaf clover, while yours looks like a bowl of corn.
Mine looks like a nice line that's gonna go and
Arch.
So try to make one that gets, approaches the size of this cardstock.
Any,
So you're making another triangle. Any triangle.
Like the bigger the card.
Here, I'm gonna trade you guys. So that big. Use a ruler, so you have a nice straight edge to it, okay? See, this is all rough. All right. Cut that one out.
Okay,
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut another one, another color. It's gonna be congruent. And we'll put them together.
I'm gonna make this perfectly measured.
And we'll do the parallel again. That's where we're going with this. Which is gonna be
There is
the
100%
same as the
chance
last
it can't
one.
be done, so it's really impossible for you to test this. Thank you.
So, can you read what I got up there on the smart board? No? So it's in your book also. So it says to cut out any triangle from a sheet of cardboard, outline the triangle on the paper. Call it triangle ABC. So the idea here is you're gonna label with capital letters again is how we label the vertices of any polygon. And then you're gonna number your angles 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter which is which. Just put them either counterclockwise or clockwise, 1, 2, 3. And then what I want you to do is I want you to trace your triangle onto the blue cardstock. So we're going to kind of vary a little bit from this activity. Trace your triangle onto the blue cardstock,
What if the triangle's bigger than the blue cardstock?
and you got to pare down your green one. We got to cut it out first.
Oh, you cut out the green one?
Yeah, cut out the green one, trace it onto the blue one.
What page is this? Isn't that-
What's the different page of curves on?
Ooh, I love that.
This is pretty good. Let's see. I don't think that's right. That one there?
I don't have.
Who am I messing with blue?
My triangle's more perfect.
Oh, you
It's
can
not as good as you.
That's up there. Can you trace this
If you
one
have
on
the
here?
blue, can you just put my color? I bet.
And give it to me.
No.
Yeah, put the whole triangle on there. I'll give you a hint. If you can line up one of the edges of your triangles to the edge of the blue paper, you might have less cutting to do.
Very important.
Am I missing anybody?
I'm sure there's some.
Cut out the blue one also.
My triangle's bigger than
I increased your magnification
Good.
so they can see it.
This RV is really good.
You'll get no. Keep me in it.
This one they should be pretty much good with.
He does very well. That's a good skill. Hey,
Okay, so check. Did you label your triangle with angles 1, 2, and 3? The green one. If not, do so. Label, sort of like this picture up here.
1, 2.
1, 2, and 3. So on the inside, label those angles 1, 2, 3.
on both triangles.
No, just on the one for now, just on the green one. And then what I'd like you to do is this. I'd like you to take your blue triangle and I'd like you to lay it out next to the green one. Make sure that you don't flip the blue one upside down. Make sure they, if you took those two cutout triangles and you set them on top of one another, that they are exactly the same. And then arrange them so that you have a parallelogram. Label your angles, 1, 2, 3. Label your angles.
On both of them?
Yours turned into a square. So have the green one labeled 1, 2, 3.
Not the blue one?
Not the blue one for now.
Oh.
Once you have them laid out and you look at it, then what I'd like you to do is I would like you to label the corresponding angles as 1 prime, 2 prime, and 3 prime. So it's a little bit different than what they did here. Here, the blue triangle, they have labeled 1, 2, 3. And then the corresponding angles, they have also listed as 1, 2, 3 because they took this blue one and they rotated it 180 degrees. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to label your blue triangle 1 prime, 2 prime, and 3 prime. So like this. Well, they have to be in corresponding vertices, corresponding angles. Corresponding implies that you have the same measure. So how are you going to ensure that you end up labeling a corresponding angle? In other words, 1 and 1 prime need to correspond to one another. They need to have the same measure. So if you're uncertain, here's what I would do. I would take your 2 triangles, because you're right here, picking on you. And if you put the 2 triangles on top of one another, like this, you'll have one of them labeled, you'll have the green one labeled 1, 2, 3. So to determine what's corresponding, if I just was to separate these 2 triangles as I'm doing right now, the vertex that's on the top, those are corresponding vertices. And if I rotate this, so it looks like this, 1 is not next to 1 prime, is it? No, because you're rotating, you're moving it away. So if you begin with your triangles, where they're sitting right on top of one another, and you separate them, and then rotate one of them so that you turn this into a parallelogram, you should be able to label your corresponding angles. Once you have that and you think you have them right, glue it into your notebook. So this is lesson 6-8.
We have some glue.
I have some glue. I don't have as many as I had on Friday. So maybe you guys have some.
We didn't use glue on Saturday.
We didn't use
That's
it on
okay,
Friday?
because you are potato.
You need or you have? Here it comes.
I'm a potato
How do you know? So basically,
because you're a potato.
oh, that's nice to know. You kind of need to see it.
Yeah, so where's,
That's my
okay. The challenge with this one is you have an equal line, or really close to it. You can separate them, and then you turn it like this.
You're not a potato.
No, I'm not.
Now you have a true
Then
parallelogram.
you are
That's how you want to orient your.
Okay, make a stupid joke about you making.
Are we gluing it well?
Yeah, I was.
Check to see
Well,
that
that's
right as well.
Olin's name. I'm.
You did?
All of you.
Watch
I didn't
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure they all have them before they glue them. Some do and some will, some won't.
Do we glue them in like together, like?
This is 6-8. Glue them together as a parallelogram, yes. So this is 6-8. Triangle sum.
You are with potato.
Wait, 1 second.
Potato. You look like potato.
I have a potato.
Russian potato game.
We can talk about it.
That's German.
Exactly.
Did you say chai?
They would be that might be one of the two.
Oh, nice fire.
Sue's on the 13th.
I got it.
Instead of a potato.
It works than a potato.
Yeah, instead of not a potato. Actually, can you beat the rotten egg? Still kind of.
No, the potatoes don't go in the
No, I'm a potato because I have the sugar.
You guys done? You good? Once you get those glued in your notes, it may be helpful for you to have what I've got on the
Yellow.
board so far. All right? Oh, you gotta share them around, can you? Who's got glue? You guys have glue? Or did you pass it on?
I did it.
I think I
Okay.
have some too.
Don't pick up your fat. I know. I see your hair. I'm not gonna need more. See it?
Take the glue.
Oh,
I'd have to see it lined up.
Ryan, you want your glue back?
yes, please.
I've been learning German.
Yeah.
They're alphabet here in German. Like, why don't you learn that?
Yeah, I know. That's common.
But I mean, also, that's like the first place you go. It's so hard.
Who needs glue? Anybody need glue? You're doing it.
I heard cat question. Bash, I'm a cashier unit.
I can't.
What? Also, wait, which one of out of the dollars first survived again?
Was it the dad? Wait, oh no, it was the little brother.
No, the young woman's swinging.
It was one of the boys.
What?
No,
But mostly the dad.
The mom had
when they young.
and then all the kids had. They just were like all like.
Wait, so the mom and dad were.
Corresponding.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
They should have
I say young
Uh,
person survived.
What did I just find?
What's your idea again?
Remember when you first came here and you just threw stuff all day around? That's what you found.
Huh? Oh, yeah, instead of doing plus, I just blue. Bad idea, you'll turn out like that. That's probably Kate or something.
Whatever happened to him and Kate Victory?
Because they wanted two corresponding things. So if you had like,
You ready?
if there was a line
You ready?
through.
Selby, are you ready?
Yes.
Phoenix? PJ? Ryan, you look ready.
I'm ready.
Jada, are you ready? Kate? Nyla?
Yes.
All right, moving forward. So in this lesson, taking a look at the second example, this is typical of some of the problems that you're going to be presented with, where they give you a diagram. The diagram has some known measures. So here they're saying angle P is 19 degrees. They're saying angle POS. Amelia, Ryan, I need your attention. Tomorrow you're not sitting there, okay?
Okay.
Gonna have you somewhere else. Tomorrow, I hate to move you out of the corner, but I'll just put you right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Put you farther into the corner.
So in this one here, angle POS, they're saying is 90 because they have a box in the corner. So this is right in the book on page 408. And then they break up that 90-degree angle into two angles, which they say one is 43 degrees and the other is X, and then this one is Y. So the problem is to figure out what the value of X and Y are. But they would like you to write it out a little bit more formally. So when they asked the question here, they said, find the measures of angle TOP. So that's TOP, that's X degrees in the diagram. And we need to find the measure of TOS. So TSO, so that's the one which is Y.
Both 180. Wait.
They can be 180.
So what are the facts that we know so far? Before we start saying what the angle measures are, what are facts that might be related to what either one of those angles would measure up to? Turn. Thank you. So what about the one that's written up here, the sum of the interior angles of any triangle is 180? Might that relate to this? Yeah, you got triangles. So any triangle up here that you have, the sum of the measures is 180 degrees. So angle P, angle POS, and angle S have to add up to how many degrees? 180. So if we're looking at this angle here, how many degrees is it? POS. How many? Why is it 90? What shows it's 90 on the drawing? The box in the corner saying that it's a right angle. All right angles are 90 degrees. What's angle P? It's 19. And then what's angle S? Okay, so you're bringing in 180. So these three, so P and POS and S. So if we write this out formally, the measure of angle P plus the measure of angle S plus the measure of angle POS add to 180 degrees.
That's just 71.
S is 71, how do you get that?
You add 90 and 19 and then minus it from 180.
Okay, so POS is 90. P is 19. So you subtracted those. So this is 99.
Yeah. And then minus it.
So if you subtracted 99 from this, then you'd have the measure of angle S, which is, what did you say it was? 71 degrees. So this is 71 degrees.
No, it'd be 81.
It would be,
Is it 81 or 71?
80.
There's like 16 or so of you in here. We ought to get this right. What is it?
wait, wouldn't it be actually 109?
Yeah, it would be 109, because 90 plus 91 is 109.
Yeah, 90 plus 19 is 109.
Oh, 90 plus 19. Oh. Don't expect me to catch everything. So this is 109. So we want to subtract 109
Still 71.
from this. And how much is it?
Still 71.
It's still 71. Okay. So here's one answer. How do you get angle X? The POT or TOP. What do you do? 90 minus 43. So the measure of angle TOP is 90 because these two add up. Subtract 43. How much is that? Does a bear poop on the road? I've had you for over a year and a half. 47 degrees. What did I say to you day one when you met me?
Right down.
Write it down unless I tell you otherwise. Figure it's important enough to have written down. Things don't change just because you get older. You gotta write more. So this gets kind of busy, isn't it? Going and writing all of those angles this way? Why don't you do it the easy way? What's an easier way?
You just
Triangle.
add 90 plus 19 and minus it, instead of having to write out all the.
Well, see, I want to know where your numbers come from, though, and how they relate. I don't want to just,
Minus 90 from 43 and then you get 19 and then you add those two and then minus
minus 90
180.
from 19,
From 90 from 43 and you get 19.
90 from 43 would give me a negative number, though. I know what you're saying, but be careful what you're saying, because you're saying it backwards, I think.
Yeah. 90 minus 43 equals 19.
Yeah,
And then you add, sorry, 90 minus 43 is 47. 47, I mean, and
Right.
47 plus 19, you're 109 in the most. You
I-
have to write out all
The bottom line is, I need to see something on paper. I need to see where your steps are coming from, because not everything is gonna be as straightforward as this. I need to see more of your steps, especially in the longer drawn-out problems. When you come back tomorrow, I'll show you another way of writing this more concise and to the point, so it doesn't become such a burden.
What do you want us to do with the glue?
Why don't you send the glue my way, so I have it for other classes when needed. And the scissors too, if you wanna just drop them on your way out, that works for you. Here's a box.